Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the next episode in our Let's Play series here. We are now on episode 9. I guess you could say it's more like episode 4 since we restarted. But anyway, in the last episode I said that we were thinking about sending somebody over to the other asteroid, as well as starting to develop our space program.
Right.
However, first thing I want to get done today is I want to get super sustainable done. That's going to take a little bit. We still have 100,000 to go, but we're going to get there. Solar panels will be fine. I think we could also do a steam turbine. I think we can also take care of get a room because we only lack a greenhouse and a hospital. We may even be able to do art underground because we're just going to start decorating the base a little bit since we have a lot of reed fiber now. And maybe we can get pulled back to Vale. We'll see. I would really love to get job suitability, but we may save that for later. So in this episode, I want to do a couple of things. First off, the heat is starting to creep in our base a little bit, so we need to improve our cooling loop here. I think what I'll end up doing is just looping it through the base a couple more times through the floors. But more importantly, what I'm going to do is not rely so much on this polluted water coming in, but I'm going to make a closed loop that I'm going to hook up to a thermal aqua tuner with a steam turbine above it. And we're going to put that over here so it can be nearby to our power spine and connect to our power grid. So we're going to work on that and we're going to get this cooling loop fixed. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this metal refinery, I'm going to put its output into this pool over here. And then the other thing that I want to get done today is I want to get our space program going. And the way I'm going to do that is we're going to start by just building a platform here. We'll come down 4 more and we'll build another platform and we'll put 1 more down here. And what I'm going to do is this will be the rocket platform for our first couple of rockets, and they're going to be carbon dioxide rockets. And then below that, I'm going to put a couple of gas reservoirs, and that's going to hold our carbon dioxide. And that carbon dioxide is going to come from our carbon dioxide trap down here. We're going to pipe this to the surface, as well as we're going to grab some of our oxygen here. We're going to grab some of this oxygen, some of the extra, and we're going to pipe that to the surface as well because we're going to want oxygen for our cockpits. So we'll work on that. We'll come up with a design for that, and we will get our aqua tuner built, and we will also modify our base cooling loop and reroute our metal refinery. And we're going to do all of this while we're working on our super sustainable achievement. So first things first, just to start this episode off with a bang, let's go ahead and take care of the get a room achievement. We need to build a hospital and a greenhouse in order to complete this one. So what I'll do is we'll come over here and we'll look at the requirements for a greenhouse. And the only thing we need for a greenhouse is it has to be between 12 and 96 tiles, and it has to have a farm station. So we can take care of that pretty easy. We can come over here and just pop down a farm station. Other thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to build a hospital, which requires a toilet, a mess table, and medical equipment, and nothing else. And it's also between 12 and 96 tiles. So what we can do to do that is we can come over here. I think the triage cot is medical equipment. Yes, it is. So we can just put one of these down right here, and then we can grab a cot and a mess table, and this should give us that achievement as well. What are we missing here? Oh, we need a toilet. That's right, we need a toilet in that room, so let's put a toilet down real quick. Okay, what are we missing here? Hospital, mess table, toilet, deconstruct. That should take care of it. Why did I think it needed a cot? I don't know. There it is. All right, so there's get a room. And now we can just deconstruct all the stuff. Now, let's come down here and start planning our aqua tuner. To make this aqua tuner, we're going to start off with a floor, and we're going to make this floor 12 wide, and we're going to come up like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and rough it out just so you can kind of see what I'm going for. And then be 2 like this, and this is going to be 2 tall, and then this will come across the top of here, and then this will be, I think it's 4 tall. It'll come across just like this, and all of our stuff will go inside of here. I think it's under utilities. Thermal aqua tuner will sit right here. We're gonna want to make this out of steel just to get the overheat temperature up. I'm gonna cancel this for now, cancel those as well, and then I'll put this up to like this, do like this, and then we'll do that. Okay, just like that. And what this will do is this will allow them to get in there. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make some mechanized doors here, but we're going to want to do it out of steel because trust me, steel has one of the better thermal conductivities of the materials we have access to right now. We're going to go ahead and do like that. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and repipe what we have over here. So to do that, we are going to grab some of these. We're going to make this out of granite, but the thing is we don't have a whole lot of granite, so we may want to go ahead and dig some of this up. We're going to go ahead and dig down into here so we can get some granite. This is all granite, so we're going to grab some of this just like that. That should be a good start. We'll get that started. We'll go ahead and start getting started on this, and we'll do a little bit of that. And we're going to want to build a rocket platform as well, but we don't have the material for that right now, so we'll come back to that in a little bit. We are going to want quite a bit more copper here, and we're also going to need to make a little bit more of that. Our power grid isn't quite stable yet, so what I did was I put a cycle sensor on this, so it'll be inactive when our solar panels are not active. And we can also add another one of these to our array to also help out with some power. Another thing I think we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to get rid of some of this stuff. First, we're going to move this over, and to do that, we're going to do this, and we'll go ahead and disconnect that, and we'll go ahead and disconnect this, and we'll disconnect that. I think another thing we can do here is deconstruct some of these, and we'll add ourselves another atmosphere dock here as well. So, to the business of redesigning this. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we are going to convert a lot of these pipes over to just regular pipes, so they'll transfer a little bit more heat. The next thing we're going to do is cool our storage here. Some of that stuff may be coming in hot. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to run this all the way down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this come in down here. It'll come in down like, oh, no, not like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, come in like that, which means we're gonna have to lower this down here, and we'll just run it across like that. I know it's, well, actually, yeah, we'll just do it like that. I know it's not elegant, but that's just the way it's gonna have to be. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this line and it's gonna feed this right here. This is gonna connect, it's gonna go across here, it's gonna link up with this, and then this is gonna be going down in here. So that's gonna come across here. We're gonna wanna carry this as far over as we can. It'll probably be here. This loop, we are going to carry like this. This is going to come down to, oh, actually, nope, we can't do that. Okay, well, oops. We'll bring it over here. We'll bring it across here. We're going to have to cancel that. Okay, well, it is what it is, I guess. That'll be coming down to here. It'll go back across. Come over here. Gonna continue across, and we'll just loop it down like this. And then that's going to come down over here. And I think we can just loop this one straight across as well. And then it'll go out here. And then we'll hook it up to our cooling loop over here. So yeah, we can actually get rid of all this. Bridge this out, and we might want to just do this since we're out here and we really don't want it exchanging thermals with what we have over here. Actually, you know what? Let's cancel that and cancel this and cancel that. And what we'll do is we'll just bridge it straight out because I think this is just going to go straight across. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. We'll come back to this and that'll come up to here. We'll grab a normal one for here, and then we're going to want to use copper for this. And the way we'll do that is we'll do it just like this. Then the other cooling loop will come up this. That'll be the main, that'll be the primary one that connects to our thing. All right, so we have pipes going all over the darn place, huh? All right, that's looking better. It'll come this way, sneak around there, around there, back through there, down here, finally taking some of the heat out of our industrial area down here, and then it will deliver it back to our aquatuner setup. We're probably going to want to go ahead and think about our first couple of rockets. We'll start with one, and we'll go ahead and put ourselves some gas reservoirs up here. Do that there, and we will pipe them together as well. There we go. All right, so we have this done, and now we're going to add our metal tiles. Now I've looked at the materials we have access to here, and it appears that the best with thermal conductivity is the copper, at least for the price. So we're going to use copper here. And the reason why we're doing this is because when these doors open, we want them to create a vacuum, and if these tiles aren't here, they won't create a vacuum. We're also going to want to do our main cooling loop here. We want to make more copper. Actually, let's just do like, I don't know, like 32, 40. And we'll go ahead and get some of this piping done as well. This is basically going to be a mirror image of this side. I think what we're going to do is we're going to bridge on some of this water here. Just like that. This water is super cold. but it'll even out after a while. All right, while that's going, we'll also want to put a small transformer up here, just like so. And we'll go ahead and wire this up as well. Now we have a little bit of power to do some things up here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get this just right. We wanna have 2 empty spots on this pipe, which means we want this one to be empty and that one to be empty. So we're gonna let this back up until it's right about here, and then we'll stop it. And now we should have good flow. There we go, and that'll just continue to flow. I think it's gonna help with our temperature a little bit, but it's gonna pick up a lot of heat here, but we're gonna start taking care of that once we get this finished. For now, we just need to continue making progress. I'm gonna stop the flow just for now. As you can see, we have those 2 pipes empty, and that's exactly what we were going for there. Oh, and I just realized something. We can actually upgrade our ladders to make travel a little bit quicker. Do that there, and we'll put a little bit there. How about that? We got plenty of plastic. I swear to Jesus, I will put it on red alert. What you got for me? You got nothing. More research, more research. All right, let's look in power. We'll grab our steam turbine here. We're gonna place that here. However, we're gonna need to come to utilities and grab our thermal aqua tuner. We're gonna make sure that's made of steel. We're gonna put that right above that. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pipe this in. To do that, we're gonna do like this right here, just like that. We'll also grab a bridge, and then we're gonna want that, and we're gonna want some wiring up just like that. Put another thermosensor in here, and then the shutoff valve, like so. And then let's look back here at this. We got that hooked up, cool. And then we're gonna need power, obviously, like that. And then our main grid connection is going to be here. There we go, Bubbles. I'm going to put a big boy over here. We'll flip it around. That's a weird little bug. So apparently you have to have one of these on here for it to put out. So I don't know. That's weird, but it'll work. All right, let's start looking at what type of rocket. We're going to do the carbon dioxide engine. We're going to add the rover's module. And then we're going to add a nose cone. And we'll let that build for now. I'm also going to want to start building another one. Let's see where we're at here. Yep, that goes to that. Okay, and then we're going to go this to there. And I think we'll probably do the same thing on this one. Yep. Okay, cool. There we go. We're going to let this fill up with a little bit of water. As soon as this pops into here, we're going to turn this off. And we're done. Switch back over to this. Now it's going to be a very long time before this thing starts to run, because as you can see, we're at 16 degrees and the steam turbine requires 125 degrees to run. And this water's still pretty cold, and this is already cold, so it's going to be a while. But that's okay. We're not in a hurry for this to run. We just want to get our base cooled down. And I think that's going to help us do that quite a bit. So there we go. We've accomplished yet another one of our goals. We have our cooling loop for our base, and we also have our aqua tuner with steam turbine to remove heat. And there are plenty of tutorials for this online. I actually may end up doing my own. However, the way this works is, as you can see, this, let me slow this down, the coolant goes through here, and when it comes through this sensor right here, this liquid thermo sensor, it's going to check to see if it is above -5 degrees. If it's above -5 degrees, we are going to allow it to go into the aqua tuner, and we're going to activate the aqua tuner, and it will go in here. It will be chilled by 14 degrees, because that's how much an aqua tuner chills water that passes through it, because an aqua tuner has a cooling factor of 14 degrees. So each packet that comes through it is gonna be cooled down by 14 degrees. It's gonna come out here 14 degrees cooler. It's gonna hit here. It's gonna go this way first. And once it comes here, it's gonna check this room. And if it's above 25 degrees, it's gonna activate this shutoff valve, which is gonna allow it to cool the steam turbine, because we don't want this to put off a bunch of heat. We also don't want it to overheat. So we just have it to where it will operate this cooling loop if it's above 25 degrees. Now, once it comes through here, it'll cool the steam turbine off. It'll hit this bridge, go here, come back down this way, and go back through the cooling loop, and it will check the temperature again. Now, this time, let's say that the temperature is less than -5 degrees. It'll bypass the aqua tuner and enter this bridge and come across here. If for some reason this turbine, which it currently isn't, is below 25 degrees, then while this is full, it will divert in this direction, hitting this bridge, come across, and then be added back here, and it will continue to loop this way. So it looks pretty confusing. Maybe it is. I don't really see it being that confusing. These ins and outs are pretty conspicuous. However, if this is your first time setting up an aqua tuna or seeing one, it could be a little confusing. So just once again, checks the temperature here. The temperature is above -5 degrees. It will activate the aqua tuner, allowing it to come in this port. And once it's chilled by 14 degrees, it'll come out this port. It will come up here. It will prioritize this cooling loop if it's active, and if not, it will send it across this bridge and it will loop it this way. There's a couple of variations in the loop here, but they all work. And the way I've filled this loop, it will operate. It will continue to operate no matter which way it loops. So what I did was I filled this first, and then I filled this. We have around about 2 empty packets, just like we did on our base cooling loop. So it will continue to circulate. Just like so. This temperature is above 25 degrees, so it is operating this cooling loop, and it's going to cool this room down until it is below 25 degrees. So there we go. Now it turned off. Perfect. You can see these packets right here are above -5 degrees, so it is activating the aqua tuner, which is putting it out at a chilly -16 degrees. Now, the reason why we set it to -5 degrees is because we're using polluted water as our coolant. And if you look in the database here, under polluted water, you'll notice that polluted water has a freezing point of -20.6 degrees. So -5 minus the chill, which we can add to it, is -14, is -19, which is a fairly decent safety margin. It's 1.6 degrees. We actually might be able to go 1 degree colder. Matter of fact, we can. We'll go -6. What this will do is it'll get it down to roughly near its freezing point. And so it should never freeze and bust a pipe. So now that we know how this coolant loop works, we know that it's going to drop off that chill here. It's going to keep these metal tiles pretty cold. And so when this thermal sensor sees that we are above 24 degrees, it's going to close these doors. And when they're closed, it'll allow this chill to travel through the door over to these tiles here and into the water. However, once we get below 24 degrees, this will open the doors, creating a vacuum, as you can see down there at the bottom, and that will prevent this chill from transferring over to here. And so you can see this over here. This is a little chilly still because of the water that's in the pipes, but here in a little bit, this is all going to equalize. As you can see, the temperature is kind of going up a little bit. It's working on this water, and once this gets up to 24 degrees, it'll start cycling, and it'll keep it at a very controlled, very precise way. What makes this setup great is you can precisely control different zones with these doors and these tiles. Now, from what I've seen, the diamond tiles are the best ones to put here. However, we don't have access to that right now, nor do I want to go in there and do that. These are going to work just fine. I know it's maybe not the most efficient, but we're going to go with what we have. Let's take a look back up here, and it looks like our rockets are built. We have our oxygen going into our nose cones, and our engines are full. And we're starting to store some oxygen up here as well. So that's great. Ooh, nice. I think we're going to take you. We're going to use you to be our #1 pilot. Very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and put you on the schedule. Go to your priorities. The rest of that stuff is just whatever. We'll go to your skills, and you're going to go straight into rocketry. We'll put you here for now, but at some point we're going to build ourselves some apartments up here maybe for our spacefaring crew. All right, our base is starting to cool down a little bit. That's very nice. So I'm looking here at our achievements, and I'm thinking that we may be able to do job suitability, but we should probably do this before we leave this planet, because as we get dupes out into space, it's going to become harder to do this. I think to go ahead and get our underground taken care of, we're going to come over here to furniture, and we're just going to put ourselves some paintings up. So we'll just do a little something like this, and I think that'll get us our underground. There we go. Art underground. Well, we need to fix this at some point here soon. I think what we need to do is have some type of overflow. We'll see. Can we set these on and off? Yes, actually we can. It's actually a great idea, but we don't have any room for a critter sensor. Now I think what I want to do here is I want to deconstruct this tile. And then I'm going to put a critter sensor in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to limit this room to a certain number of critters. That way we don't have to come back here and call this, because once we start colonizing other planetoids, we're not going to want to have to deal with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up to where this will all get shipped over to here. The only thing is I'm not quite sure how we're going to link up with this line here. It's going to be a bit tricky. I'm trying to figure out what the best way is going to be here. We could do this number right here. Well, no. We don't want to do that. It's gonna be more work than it's worth, because then we're gonna have to move this as well. So if we put the critter sensor in the middle, and then we put this here, not quite sure how that's gonna work out though, because we're gonna have to figure out a way to route it. I think the first thing we should do is figure out how to bring it over into here. This isn't exactly going to be pretty, but we're gonna do it this way, and then we'll bring it across here, bring it up here, so jump across here, and then we'll go from here to here. Now it's gonna be a little confusing, I understand that, but this is just how we're gonna do this. Then we'll grab one of these, put it that way. Also come over here and grab a critter sensor, put that in here, and we'll grab this and do that. And then we're also going to need to make sure that it's hooked up to power, and I believe it is. Yep, it is. So there you go. So I was getting a little frustrated there because I couldn't figure out how we were going to get our job suitability achievement, which requires us to have our duplicants complete an errand in an Atmos suit every cycle for 10 cycles. So I played around with this idea a little bit. I actually started building a second barracks up here, and I was going to have them come out of here into Atmos suits. Anyway, long story short, it didn't work out, and it really had me frustrated for a minute. So, you know, I did a little bit of poking around the internet, and it turns out that as long as they're doing a job that has a yellow progress bar, it should work. So I did a little bit of testing, and it turns out that the toilet doesn't work. However, the shower does. So my plan is to disable these and to have these on and go here to our schedule, and I am going to give all of them just a generous amount of bath time here. So we're just gonna go 3 blocks of bath time for every schedule. And what that should do is these duplicants should now come down here and use the shower in their Atmos suits, which will count towards our job suitability. I know this may seem a little cheaty, but hey, what are you gonna do? I mean, we're gonna get it, and it's gonna be super easy. This way, we don't even really have to worry about it. So I'm just gonna let this run. Everything else is pretty much good to go. We're not gonna change anything else. We're gonna let this run for 10 cycles, and then we're just gonna come back to it. And there you go. So we've already got 1 cycle, and we're just gonna keep going. 3 cycles, and there we go. Look at that temperature. It's looking beautiful, isn't it? And how close are we on our super sustainable? Ooh, we're getting close. We're gonna last couple of things here. Let's check our status again here. There it is. What do you know? Easy peasy. So that's the trick, guys. If you want to get that done, just do this right here. Should be pretty close on our finely tuned and our super sustainable. We're getting pretty close. And there it is. Finally, super sustainable. Woohoo! All right. I think that's a really good place to end this one. Here's a look at our colony. I think in the next episode, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start sending off some rockets, land some rover modules, you know, just start doing that kind of stuff. Because I think we've pretty much done what we can do here on this planet for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, friends, later.